So on my quest to find the best Minecraft ray tracing packs that there are, I decided that it was time to make a bit of a shift in strategy that I was using. Now up until this point I have been looking in the Minecraft marketplace for solutions, but today I decided that it was time to do what every responsible PC player does, and that is download a mod. Now this was quite an intimidating process, but after a bunch of tutorials I did figure it out. Now for today I will be taking a look at Optifine, Minecraft's most popular mod, at least according to Google. Now with this mod I will also be installing a resource pack called Luna 1.19 and also Sue shader. So when I first spawned into this world, it was an immediate wow. The entire map was completely overhauled in a way that I've never seen before. Now there are some massive problems here as well, but before I get into them I just wanted to take a second to admire all of the changes. I started off in a survival world because I wanted to get that authentic experience. I did eventually switch over to creative since the goal was exploring and not survival, but for now I just wanted an overview in terms of what this pack was all about. Optifine was great because I could heavily optimize my world, which allowed me much better and higher frame rates, and with a resource intensive pack like Luna, every frame helps. I have a mid-tier PC at best with only an RTX 5060 Ti, so Optifine definitely helped me to stay consistently above 60 frames for the most part. So I was playing the 1.19 preview version of Luna, and although I thought that it was good, I did eventually switch over to version 1.18 to get a better experience since the preview version was just too broken at times. Now while I was in 1.19, a couple of things were very noticeable. Although the blocky world of Minecraft is still there, some massive changes were also present, and the most obvious is the grass and the bushes that were everywhere. The texture of the dirt along with the tall grass in between looked amazing. The second thing, as you can imagine, was obviously the water. I do not know if this recording does it any justice, but the water in this pack looked absolutely perfect and like something that was ported out from a Witcher 3 game. Up until this point it was by far the best water reflections that I have ever seen in Minecraft. Now I would say this, it is still a preview, and with that there were some broken blocks that stood out all over the map. You could see it with pretty much every step taken. The second thing that stood out to me was the sky. They completely overhauled the clouds, which did look great from a distance, and it also gave the world a very realistic touch, but just like with the grass, it was also still broken. One painfully obvious thing that I noticed was the odd blocky clouds blending in with the new realistic ones. But once again, it is also worth noting that this is still a preview, so all of this is just an observation and not a critique, since it would not be fair to rate the preview. Now secondly, the shadows of this world was also a great touch, and that was all thanks to Zeus. But then let's also take a moment to talk about natural light. There are some big upsides here and then also a few downsides. When it comes to the sunlight, the world did look great during the day. The way that they used the natural rays of the sun to brighten up the world looked amazing. You can see the sunshine from afar, and it looks especially great when you look at it from afar. The nighttime though was a completely different story, but for now we could still enjoy the world under the sunlight. I also just want to take a moment to talk about the sunset. This was probably where this world shined the most. The way that the sun was setting over the water looked stunning. Every reflection stood out even more, and this was especially true for the water. Unfortunately, this beauty did not last long because it was about nighttime, and oh boy does everything fall flat after that. This was where the pack, or at least this version of the pack, struggled the most. I have not played vanilla Minecraft in some time. I mostly play with mods, but I do not remember it ever being this dark at night. The moonlight was pretty much useless here and I could not actually see a thing. I had no idea where I was headed and could not see a single mob coming my way. It was at this point that I had to log out and also start a new world in creative. With that said though, there were still plenty of exploring to do and I did want to see everything that this world had to offer. So let's talk about caves. Now in the cave they struggled with the same light issues and here torches pretty much did nothing. In normal Minecraft a light source can light up an entire section of a cave. Here you can hardly tell that you even placed a torch down. With normal RTX Minecraft you will get even better light reflections to the point where even natural resources like gold and diamonds can light up a pretty dark cave. You will be hard pressed to find any of that here. This pack does make for more realistic Minecraft, but it is definitely not ray tracing. Then again though, they do not advertise themselves as such, so I cannot go too hard here. There are moments when it looked not too bad, but it was still far away from what I expected. I would have thought that they would at least be as good as vanilla Minecraft in terms of light. It was not the worst thing that I have ever seen in my life, but they could have done a little bit better with the light sources. It is still a preview though and it is also free. Back to the top though, it was great to see the sunlight again. One thing that I did notice though was the lava. Although the water was overall, the lava was not, but I think that was just because all of this was still in a preview. I am sure that that will be addressed in the beta and the full release. Luna is one of the best mod packs out there and it is highly rated by most players, so I wanted to see it in its full glory and therefore decided to download 1.18 as this was a full release and not just a preview. Now here you could see some immediate changes. The sun was setting over this world, but even so you could still see the better light sources, shadows falling and the water reflections. Now with all of that said, one thing that I did find very interesting about this pack was the fact that every biome looked exactly the same. There was pretty much no difference in any of them. No matter how many seeds I used, all I got was green grass and trees as far as the eye could see. It could be the design or I could just be very unlucky. Anyway, let's just explore a little bit further. So one thing that I would say about this version is that the light sources here were a lot better, and so was the lava. Now overall I thought that both versions of this pack did do a lot to overall the game. Although it is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, no one ever claimed that it would be. It is clear that the developers of this pack has a clear and true passion for the game and works very hard to improve the game for all players.